Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The games are finally upon us. Boggs and Pineapple Phillips on the mic, and Badass Gaming on the T side of Ancient, their own map pick. Pistol round is live. Dualies in effect for Hex, coupled with Kevlar and Smoke. Flash on Walko and no kit, along with a walk through A main for the defense. Junior beheaded by Frankie. A second player tagged, but Automatic finds the bag. A good trade as he now heads for the hills. Here, though, tremendous inroads towards Donut, and a pop out. Automatic gets contact. Player back box, though, will swing off contact. Snap finds one, HexT before finally being felled. Dare, a pair, leaving just Walko, the IGL, behind the sight box. No kit, no Kevlar. Do they know he's here? It seems like they're wise to it. Falling back A main, redoubling control and combining numbers. They know they have the advantage in this one.
They know they have the advantage, but can they capitalize upon it is the real question here. They're still sitting around towards A main, and Walko is being proactive, clearing in towards Snake, trying to make a meal out of this round. Options available. He's on that flank. This little work in behind is the real scary thing here. It can do some serious damage as he's walking in behind. They're unaware of this possibility. And Walko can shut it all down here. They've not cleared behind. They're not looking. They're looking Donut. He does not have armor. He doesn't have the kit. He's playing the time. He's playing this so perfectly. 17 seconds. He peeks out. Down goes the bomb. And Dare's on 38 HP. Out he runs, making all the noise. Walko spots. He's buying time. Dare fakes the plan. Walko sees the clock, and he's bailing out of here. Trying to run. 3 seconds, 2. Ring around the rosy. And Walko punches up for the evil geniuses. Dare might get the kill, but Walko does not care. He's done his duty. No bomb plant and no loss bonus for Dare is even more of insult to injury. And EG out of the gate fast with a pistol round on their opponent's map pick.
I'm going to correct you there. Out the gate slow. That round went to time. An awkward one, an ugly one, and sure, the back wasn't held for, but the back was cleared. The issue was the flank was so late. Walko had to make a play, had to be proactive, and he was proactive in every right direction. Dare now, not going to force his team into an investment, although I thought such a dour economic mood might force them, might compel them into an investment. Instead, it's going to be a save. Consti, AP 250. USP for Dare. Found a triple kill in the round prior. That does give him a little bit of cash to save. EG, though, all in on the cash harvesting for this round, with 3 SMGs and a shotgun. Moss jumping up. The only rifle in the round immediately dinked. Automatic forced to fall away. Spam in towards cave as well. Does nearly connect onto the hero of the round prior. Junior. His flank with the XM10 should be respected. There's a dink, but he'll win the opening engagement. Low HP, though, makes this fight awkward. They could take him down with numbers here. Kicks in, doesn't get the kill. Out of ammo, P250 out in an ugly situation. He's trying to take a second with him. He can't, however. Dare trades it out. 40 seconds and Badass Gaming. They're boxed in, but they've been given some weaponry.
They've been given some weaponry, and they can try and make it work here. That XM can do some damage. Eagle, tagging and bagging. Good rotation is here from EG, though. 2 players in the side proper. Walko still haranguing up from Cat. Gets 1 and 2, but only 2. Dare and Shane making their way back in as they will avoid George for the moment. He's making his way down, and he finally gets one from double door. Dare goes in through cave and down to the SMG. 2 casualties, though, not ideal for the evil geniuses. However, Badass will be on a bit of a weaker buy utility-wise if they want to go all in here. They are going in AKs and armor. 1 smoke, no utility for Dare. 1 smoke for Snav. 3 pieces of utility on Shane and Frankie. It's a pretty rough buy. I would like to see somebody save for get a Galil and get a little extra utility here on the Badass side, but they're not going to go for that. They don't believe in the utility, it seems, and they're going to go all in. Will it be futility, though, is the bigger question. It's a very odd decision, Nate, to go for such a risk.
Audacious one. relying on an early take and without a lot of utility for a full-on default. Smoke and Walco can masquerade their flank. They can just go for a short execute into B, but they don't want to do that. They're going to slow down a little bit instead. Deep smoke for door. Badass have already solidified their control outside of said door. Shane into our corner. Comes down to Hex. The shot should have been heard, but Hex with the MP9 will still snag one before falling. Automatic jumping up, riding the coattails of his teammate's entry. Will find a trade. 3 versus 4 for Badass. They're on the back foot, and they are playing. They are outplayed. Junior 1, a second. Not quite found, but it's set. Walco up, who's now dancing between 2. Won't. Instead, it will be George take the next contact. The MP7 spray. A little bit ugly, but it gets across the line. It's Dare. He's been out the gates hot with some shots, but in a 1v3 on half HP and only a smoke on the belt, it seems like too tall a task at hand.
It may indeed be. He does start it off nicely with that one on to George, though. This brings it to a 1v2. This is indeed winnable here. It is possible for Dare to pull this off, but the positioning of Walco and Automatic are going to be a bit difficult to overcome here. Flash brother smoke. I think he was just trying to smoke the cross to get through, but he runs before it pops. Walco's going to get that one for free. And EG up 3-0. Bit more costly this time, but all things considered, relatively smooth for the Evil Geniuses, and they still keep 2 alive against the full buy, and they were on the half. They were on the bonus. So they're going to be happy with that win. Now it's just about keeping it clean against the Glocks and the pistols. Do not want to lose a rifle over on this round, because EG's bought heavily into this one. And as you can take a pick of their money, only Walco's in any reasonable position to invest into the next round should EG lose this one.
Already tough times for Badass. Got a slower start. This time they're taking some more direct control towards middle early on, or at least dabbling with it. Again, rotating back towards B as well. Walco spotting in middle from caves, gets some information, falls away. Actually stick around, and this could become a sticky situation if Snav forces the issue, but Walco's the one to do so instead, and he'll sneak by. Fades. Junior 1, second spotted. Automatic finds that on the jump up. It seems like Badass are getting picked apart yet again.
What? Maybe even then. Frankie does get 1. Shane does get another. There's 2 casualties overall. It's not ideal for EG, but they went aggressive and they paid for it. They went for a risk. And, well, they won the round. That's the good thing. The bad thing is it probably should have been a little more clean there for the Geniuses, but it is what it is in the end, and they'll have to live with their situation. It's the buy up again from Badass, though. Consti on that op. Again, not Dare. If you haven't watched these guys in a bit, you're probably wondering why Dare is not the one with the big green gun. It was an audible call to swap to Consti mid-game, mid-series last week. And it worked out significantly for Badass. Dare wasn't hitting the shots. Consti's like, hey, you know what? Let me try. And he had a lot more success with that one. Try it again. There's a nice flash peek for Hex, though. Walco clears well from Cave. Taking it goes way of EG. Molotov for George. He'll just back away. And Badass are stuck in mid. They might have some map control, mid control. Doesn't matter when they can go nowhere with it.
No. Realistically, no. Consti. I hope it's going to launch the crosshair. Junior dueling in middle with an M4. We'll get it done the old-fashioned way. Furthering the advantage. Happy with it. Happy with the control. Throwing a Molotov, denying rendering control. Consti, Shane, Snav. 3 remaining, 2 bottom middle, jumping up. Consolidate their numbers towards B, perhaps, but the rounds, again, feel like they're going the way of EG convincingly and without any interruption. X just gets spot towards B. Information received. Badass gonna run through the veritable funnel. It is Cave. Certain of it. At this point, it seems like 5 is all but attained for EG.
Does indeed seem that way. EG looking smooth here. Nice finish there onto Shane, or onto Consti rather, and Shane with that one solitary frag can do nothing to help his teammates out. Definitely rough waters here for Badass. 0-5 start and nothing to buy into again, Nate. Just pistols, Glocks, techs. It ain't pretty. It ain't what you want to see if you are Badass or a fan of the team. Glocks, armor, half buy, Deagle on Frankie. It just does not look good for Badass. So they couldn't get automatic here. This could spiral things into their favor. No need to blow the smoke. Automatic instead is going to do that. Get a little chip damage. Walco goes peeking, takes a dink, delivers a kill, rings the bell of Shane, and that will start things off well for the evil geniuses here as we tick into the mid-round. Badass again meandering about middle, taking their sweet time with it. George could get caught. There's a Molotov in. He's playing with his teammates, though. This is the nice thing about EG's structure. They work together a lot of times. George blocks that one. That spray will reveal his position, though. That will be his undoing. No ammunition there, and Junior cannot get the refrag. He's got to back out. On-plan opportunity, and Frankie wins the fight. Raw with the deagle. That one. Sting even more so, the double up for Snav! And it's all up to Hex now. In a 1v3, no armor, or rather, minimal armor, minimal weaponry.
In a flank.
Oh, yeah.
Dancing with one, low HP, good find. Dare, the last alive again. Stellar individually, an unknown, but it's all on timing. Hex spots him, Hex gets the kill. A 1 versus 3, what a way to bring the round back. And Boggs, I don't think Badass have gotten a bomb plant this half. They haven't gotten anything rolling. They got close there in that last round, but no bomb plant means no extra economy. It means that the buys are going to be compromised, or at least somewhat compromised, unless they save a lot. And EG, even when gifting rounds away, still come up with the dub.
They're finding ways to win these rounds, Nate. It's rather impressive the way they're able to come up with victories. Like, they're finding these little windows. Oh, that hasn't worked. That's not working. That's not working either. Hey, no matter. We got this. Don't worry. Boom. Somebody comes up with a big clutch. In that case, it was HexT. Finally, a timeout forced in by Badass. They are going to talk things over as, honestly, realistically speaking, they cannot afford to lose this round. They're already that far under the gun, Nate.
They're very far under the gun. Need to basically win out from here to have a respectable half. EG have looked incredibly good across the board. Boggs, I also want to mention, when was the last time you saw a 30-round spray? It's been a while.
CSGO.
We saw it twice
or
the AUG.
Smoke spams, yes, I can see that.
Smoke spams, I guess, but like an actual spray in a duel. So, I think 2 dang near full mag sprays out of that one AUG in that one round.
Yeah, and it yielded 3 kills total. We got the double up from one as the stay with Snav, and George got his 1. But this one already out of control in the favor of the evil geniuses. A boost up here for Consti, perhaps. They think better of it? No, they go late. Automatic's Bogdaning up here in Night Consti. Automatic calls his bluff. Walco's going to aggress through Cave again, although Snav does counter Automatic. That's still 2 for 1. And that's Automatic on very low HP. He got the extra. Shadow shows. Walco plays that well. Dink and follow-up spray. Just Snav and Frankie left alone to work their way onto the B-side bomb to be recovered still. Now in the possession of Frankie as Snav works in Cave. Walco's here. Walco's ready for it. Snav, will he clear the right corner? Will he clear the wrong one? He does get it. He does take a little bit of damage, but that's a good win. Junior's back on the op, though, in HexT's flank. That should lock it all down. He's got George coming in, too. Junior's just got to stay alive here.
He does Hex on the flank. One, Frankie steps out, has to try to find something. But alone on an island, he can find nothing but the cruel coastal gales. Send him off The Underworld 7-0. Even worse than the Brazil scoreline, Boggs. That doesn't happen often.
It might get to the Brazil scoreline. We have to wait and see, Nate.
I guess it could, but right now it's dire. We've seen nothing good, and again, lack of bomb plants means the economy's hamstrung. Lackluster utility for Badass combined with the Galil for Shane. It is ugly. It is dismal for Badass yet again.
Would you say
Lack of
it's
utility.
ghastly?
That's a Pokemon.
You're right. I never really use ghost types, so I forget they exist.
Well, one up, it's Haunter.
And then there's Gengar. I know Gengar.
That's a classic.
My old boss is a huge Gengar fan.
I think most people who grew up with the original Pokemon games are most like Pokemon.
It's got a cool model.
It does. Utility in middle, really hurting them. They have to wait. They have to respect these angles. They have to wait for the smoke to fade. And they have to take duels dry like that. Snav at least makes the first look good. Junior taken down. Automatic is low as well. Walgo, though, needs to be very careful in this close angle. The A4 is the right weapon for this one, but he surely is cleared. Frankie finding Automatic, finishing off his teammate started. Angle is cleared, but Walco still finds two. It's not respected. And it's right back to even footing. Only one set of utility left for Frankie. Badass again grouping for a B play. The issue is there's two people here. Hex looking towards the ramp. Spots one, gets a headshot, knows the second is there as well. Player Cave also going for a flank. Shane, sure, takes sight, has bomb, but Walco drops Frankie. 1 versus 2 for Shane. He's done well with the Galil. He'll upgrade to an AK. Question is, can he hold off this retake from a divided front?
Can't even get by the first test. Walco puts one through his head. And that's a crispy shot from Walco, who's been on a tear this game. 11 kills to him, 12 to HexT. And it's the former RBG boys that are tearing things up here on Ancient to kick things off. Do not want to put pressure on a player, but Consti is also sitting at 8-0. I'm not sure if it is an 8-0 or 8-0. Excuse me there. It's 0-8, not 8-0, but the goose egg is in the wrong category for Consti. And for Badass, too. He has the amount of kills as Badass have rounds.
Harsh, but true. 8-0. At least we saw a bomb plant. That gives him a little bit of extra cash to work with, right?
It's kind of sad. That's like the one thing. But they got a bomb plant. There's something, right?
And they can buy again. They can, continue to hit their head against the wall with full force instead of compromised force.
That's the bright spot for Badass right now. Oh, we got a bomb plant, boys. Let's go.
Hey, a win's a win. Everything's relative.
Nate, I disagree with that standpoint.
Good, because it was a very copium standpoint.
It was the most copium I've heard in a while, and I'm a North American Counter-Strike fan.
Wow. That was kind of harsh.
Well, what's harsher is the scoreline right now.
It's fair. That's fair, I suppose. Utility from EG is also very punishing in the early goings. Badass has no other option but to respect it. Snav doing anything but running to try and support middle, but his teammates already fallen. Air dropped by the op. A couple more will run through as well. Walco spammed to one through the wall and the smoke. Counting his lucky stars that he can live to fight another day. That damage is unconfirmed, so Badass don't know about it. Junior's doubling down, tripling down perhaps. No, finally shut up in towards Donut, but the damage has been done. Frankie will get control in the meanwhile, but only, again, one set of utility on the very same person for Badass, and they have not even gone for a take yet.
Yeah, that's not Badass, and well, they just lost Frankie, so that's even worse. All up to Snav and Consti. One smoke between the two. They're locked in cave with no bomb and minimal options for success here. What is the play? What is the go for one onto the B site, and they do go 1 for 1, but now it's a 1v3 for Consti. However, not as unwinnable as you would think just from the fact that it is a 1vx.
No bomb.
Oh, there's no time for it now. The
He
health
doesn't
was
have
the
the
one
bomb.
factor, but it's over. Automatics on the angle, too.
The most esoteric of angles, tucked in probably the least expected corner of the 4 possible in that area of the map. 9th round secured, 9th in a row, 9 unanswered from EG on this CT side. There's no questions, they're going to buy. Their economy is actually surprisingly low given the score line, but I digress. It doesn't really matter at this stage. Badass, they will invest yet again despite the lack of a bomb plant. Deagle for Frankie, AK for Consti, and a trio of Galils to flush out the squad. 10-0 seeming like an inevitability at this stage. 12-0 seeming like it's preordained as well. And again, aggression towards Cat from Badass. Automatic in a corner. Stuck. This might be the inroads the Badass need. 2 kills unanswered. Very quick ones at that. Welco into automatic felled. George does some damage, but doesn't finish off. Constant he'll flash to the smoke. The op of Junior has to go in big. 1. A second for HexT. A third on the boards for Junior as well. No, he doesn't hit the flick, but he does survive. It is even footing. Never mind, George. Another constant action in towards middle, and he delays the plant as well. These 2 players now stuck between a rock and a hard place. Snav finally finds the player on the back line. Bomb will hit dirt, but it's still a 2 versus 2. It's still anybody's round.
Anybody's round, they make it theirs. Junior with 1. Shane, 1v2 around the sight boxes. It's planted for him, but he's got to fight against 2. He spots HexT, but he cannot get by the HexTer. As he gets the 1, he gets the headshot on the headshot angle. He had 1 option there, too. Only click head. And EG, Nate, are up 10-0 on Badass right now. And just for clarification, folks, if you all missed the pre-show, this is the map pick of Badass. So, just to put that into perspective here, this is the one map that they went in with an advantage to.
Also, this is where we had to see them make a stand. Their stats on Mirage are even more dismal.
Yep.
We said realistically they need a 2-1 victory starting on Ancient, and they're down 0-10 on said map, the map that they need to stay alive in the series. Now, they got a second bomb plant. Consti got a second kill. Take the dubs where you can find them, but they aren't really dubs in the grander scheme of things. Middle again, the name of the game for Badass, but it feels like these takes are expected. EG happy to concede the control. Badass still seem eons away from a round victory.
Eons, multiple parasecs, multiple life ages of the Earth. I think, Nate, we're gonna have to go back to, I don't know, before the Jurassic period.
See, multiple parasecs with the Pokemon? Are we back to Pokemon?
No, I was thinking parasec, like, you know, the unit of distance, like the Millennium Falcon made the Kessel Run under 12 parasecs,
Parsec.
which was a
Parsecs, not Parasec. Parasec's a Pokemon. Sorry. Hate to burst your bubble there.
You're really gonna bust me on the pronunciation of parasec.
Someone's gonna cook you in chat in 2.5 minutes. Just wait. Well done.
If anyone eats their steak, well done out there. Rethink.
Let them know. Let them know.
Rethink it.
Badass have an advantage.
As much as you can cook.
Badass have an advantage. They're throwing a fake. It's pulling a rotation as well from EG.
But will it actually work, though?
Good question. There's 2 players on the site. HexT is tucked in the corner. Not cleared. 1 secured. 2 on the spray transfer. Snap trade. 7 seconds left. Bombs on the ground. I don't think they can get the plant even if they wanted to. The tag to the smoke just secures it. They're on, what, 14 HP? Can't plant the bomb.
He didn't have time. He got slowed. He might have had enough time to grab the bomb and plant if he didn't get top tagged.
1 round away from a flawless half for EG on their opponent's map pick. And then from there, it is a very brief pistol round victory away from the second map. To say this is a terrible start for Badass would not do the situation justice.
That is the understatement of the year. Maybe of the millennia, Nate. That nade does as much damage as Badass have done in this half.
9? You're saying they done 9 damage?
Well, I'm saying like the equivalency. It's essentially nothing.
That's fair. No, that's fair.
There's been a couple clutches for EG. They've been wounded, but they haven't actually really struggled for anything.
No. This feels like a map where you kind of have to cut your losses. Honestly, at round 7, I would have said maybe they're cutting their losses and going from there. They're still giving it their all. Still look unfazed. They don't look tilted, but when things go wrong and then go wrong and then go wrong and you just seemingly can't do any right, sometimes you have to say your opponent's having a good game. And right now it feels like EG definitely are. Junior up to his antics. Like CSGO never left, finding one crab walk down the ramp for Walko on a second. And a play in towards Caves to call Frankie at choke point. They are fish in a barrel at this stage. Frankie and Consti both here. One walking up red doors could be their savior. I think Junior's already watching for that play. Frankie, a double to try and be the hero, but Junior sets him right on up. Sets up Consti, excuse me. Flank does connect. Badass. A chance to cap off the half with 1 round in the pocket.
1 round, but Automatic's already here. George is coming in through cave as well. There's a smoke. Do they watch it? Automatic. He's going to try and channel his old teammate. He's sitting in that smoke. You can hear the music as George makes noise in cave, trying to bait in a peek, but nobody's holding his angle. George now going to walk out there behind that smoke. It'll fade in about 5 seconds here. Time is ticking. Automatic looking, wins that fight as George goes down to OHP Frankie. Automatic knows he's also running out of time. Time, Tim! You gotta go, buddy! He's out of it! It's gonna be a round for Badass at the dying moments of the half. They've gotten their first out of 12. But we're gonna hit that break here and come back to see what happens for half 2. Well, we're back, folks. That was a quick break, like it was a quick half. It's EG up 11-1. Boggs and Pineapple Phillips on the mic. Double dualies for Shane and Dare. Kit for Snathers. Minimal armor on the badass side. Glocks and a P250 for the evil geniuses. The bomb is going down to the wide open A site. They found it open. They claim their land. They plant their stake. The evil geniuses here have Junior also watching in towards Snake. He gets the spot. He will just fall away. Not needing to stick around as the time dwindles here. There is that kit for Snav, though, which does facilitate a much higher percentage of a retake success here. Walco pushed the attacks automatic with another one on the site. Might even grab a second onto Shane. He will indeed, as Hex will get one more before Dare can try and make his Alamo stand. Dinked and soon to be destroyed. Whether the bomb or George puts him down, it will be the latter. EG up 12, Badass at 1. 1 round to go for EG to take map number 1, the pick of their opponents.
I was going to ask if 11's all they get, but it's clearly not the case. 12 already on the board for EG, and a tremendous advantage in this round, obviously. Badass backs literally against the wall at this stage. They have to invest. If they lose this round, it's done. It's curtained. It's off to the sandy map of Mirage. And their hopes in this series might as well be a Mirage if that's the case. 3 Galils, an AK, and a MAC-10. Good utility damage to start off with Badass. The weapon disparity might prove too large, too bounties. Tagged down to 22. Not belongs to this world. Tagged again down to 12 now. That's a little boost from Snav on the line. Should be expected, but it might be novel enough for 1 in this situation. Nope. Never mind. Taken down.
It was a good idea. I like it, but
it's quirky.
Yeah.
Now Dare puts the Eagle at 12 HP. Automatic actually entering the site proper by Frankie. Dare not cleared. He'll be gifted 1. It's a big gift. And Junior, okay, drive-by to 1. On to the second as well. And on to map number 2, might I add. 13-1. A very dominant scoreline from 11-1 in the first half. And Badass, quiet for the first 11 rounds, really does you in when you consider that the game is only to 13 now.
It really...